I think the pandemic of the coronavirus is going to help drive us to the third great scientific revolution of the modern age. The first of those revolutions came in the first half of the 20th century, and they stem from the papers that Einstein did in 1905 on quantum theory and relativity theory. Einstein and other physicists laid the ground for a revolution that helped bring us everything from nuclear power and atom bombs to semiconductors and space travel and GPS. And then the second half of the 20th century was driven by a digital revolution, one that was driven by the idea that all information could be done in digital bits, binary bits, and that those pieces of information could be processed through circuits with on-off switches. When you do that, you can invent things like the microchip, the computer, and the internet. And those three inventions came together to form the digital revolution. Now, I think we're in the 21st century, and the first half of that century, of this new century, will be driven by biotechnology. It sort of began when we sequenced the human genome around the year 2000. And then we developed technologies to edit the gene, such as CRISPR, which is just taken off from a way that bacteria use to fight off viruses. Well, that has a familiar ring to it because now we're trying to fight off viruses. And we can use some of the same tools that bacteria have used. We can use CRISPR to guide us directly to the genetic material of viruses that are threatening. We can also use CRISPR to edit our genes so that we don't have the receptors for some viruses. That's what the scientists in China did in 2018, Zhongqi He, when he edited the genes of two twin babies so that they would no longer be receptive. The body cells of those children would no longer be receptive to the HIV virus. I think the 21st century we're going to be focusing on how do we fight viruses, how do we edit our genes, and also how do we fight cancer through this genetic editing process. It'll be a great achievement, but it will also provide some moral dilemmas. Like, should we edit our genes in order to enhance our capabilities, to make us taller, to maybe help our memory or make us smarter? Those are tough questions, and that's why the 21st century is not only going to need scientists for its scientific revolution, but humanists, philosophers, and even poets are going to have to weigh in. I'm Walter Isaacson, and thank you for listening.